Let's talk about PBX fundamentals. And what does PBX stand for? It's a private branch exchange. It's a telephone switching system inside an organization. Or really, I mean, now with cloud PBX, it can be just for an individual if they have a Zoom phone or something like, and they have one line or whatever. Um, you could have a PBX for one person. So it's inside an organization. That's the best way to abstract it. It connects internal phones and routes calls to the outside world via trunks. So if we think about it, a trunk can have multiple um, calls being routed through that trunk. Think about like a tree trunk and thinking about how the thickness of that trunk and how you could have multiple smaller lines going through the trunk. That's kind of what we're doing here is a trunk can have multiple calls going through the trunk. So a good way to think of it is think of it like your company's or your organization's mini phone company. Now, why do they exist? For cost savings is one reason. Cost savings, one or few trunks to the PSTN, the old phone lines, public switch telephone network, instead of a line for each employee. Internal dialing is possible here. Users call each other via short extensions. 1001, you can just call them 1001 and that'll go right to that internal employee or internal person inside your organization, inside your PBX. Central control, you manage voicemail, call routing, and advanced features. So it's your control system. It's sort of your control hub for all of your organization's call needs. Let's talk about types of PBXs. And we'll go. The traditional is category 1. Traditional, analog, digital. It's hardware based, often telecom closet. It uses time division multiplexing and primary rate interface lines. So those are your old way of doing things. Pro still used, but it's just it's a legacy technology. Pros, it's very reliable and it's simple. Cons, expensive to expand because of the physical limitations, and flexible. Those are cons. We have IP PBX, which is legacy, more modern, runs on IP networks, uses the session initiation protocol trunks and not tanks, trunks and IP phones using the internet protocol. So examples of this would be like asterisk, free PBX. Pros, it's flexible, scalable, integrates with UC, Unified Communication applications. Cons, requires network and security management, right? Because you're now using the internet protocol. You're out in the wild, wild west now, and so you're not a part of this like secluded telecom closet now. Now you're using internet protocol. You're out in the open, and so you need to make sure that security and network management is done effectively. So your communications are secure, and what you do with your PBX is secure. And then we have cloud PBX. So it's delivered as a service. So it's a PBX as a service by provider like Zoom Phone, Ring Central, 8x8. There's these providers that they provide the PBX as a service. So those are just some examples. No on-premises hardware, no on-prem hardware needed. Oops, sorry, hardware needed beyond just the phones, or if you're using a soft phones client. Pros, this is easy to deploy. In a lot of cases, you just need to go online and make the payment to subscribe to this service, and then you're up and running in 5 minutes. So easy to deploy, predictable costs. Now that's if the cloud doesn't change their cost, but typically when you subscribe to a cloud PBX, you're going to pay a monthly fee, and that'll be it. So it won't change. Your costs won't change too much when you're using the cloud PBX, but cloud costs can change. Managed security is another pro, because you're now using it as a service. So then Zoom Phone takes over the managed security, or Ring Central. Cons cons of this is it's dependent on internet reliability. So you're at the mercy of your internet service. So call routing is number one. So extension dialing, hunt groups, IVRs, your menus, dial something for, or dial a number for some extension for some person or some other menu. Voicemail, it also does voicemail and unified messaging. um, Call transfer, hold, conference, trunking. So what we talked about previously, the PSTN access, the legacy line, using SIP trunks, primary PRIs, and analog lines. Being able to do the trunking is a core PBX function. Integration, it can integrate with CRMs, help desks, or contact centers. 16. Oops. The PBX is a primary attack target because it holds credentials and extensions. It holds extensions. It controls call routing, and misconfiguration can expose it directly to the internet. To secure it, to solve this problem, harden SIP authentication, place the PBX behind a session border controller, and then obviously regular patching and monitoring. The PBX has evolved from switchboards and copper lines into cloud native communication hubs. So understanding the PBX is essential because they ultimately remain the core of enterprise voice systems, even as they integrate with modern UC and cloud platforms. This is a good foundation for PBX fundamentals of what they do and why they do it, and then also some security. So thank you very much.